What's going on? Welcome to the first market strip down session of 2025. Hope you guys had a wonderful holidays, a nice little break before the holidays, and I hope you're ready for a strong, productive, and abundant year ahead. So, if we look at the monthly, we can see that November, we had a nice bearish candle, nice reversal back below this wick over here. December, we did close bearish with a large upper wick, smaller lower wick. Right now, it seems like we could be forming the upper wick of January. If we look at the weekly, I'd like to see some sort of resistance formed up through there. There's another one that we'll see here on the daily as well. Yeah, I mean, we also have this level right here that we could touch. Obviously, if we break those two levels, I would look for a retest of this level. We need strong resistance formed on the 4-hour. Multiple 1-hour candles, multiple 4-hour candles rejecting for us to be able to look for sell positions. But I do think that we will head bearish for the month of January. Obviously, as long as we hold below this level. I think actually if we hold below this level, we'll go bearish. I think that if we break this level, we will head up to the 27-21 area, and I don't think that we'll be able to turn bearish and have a huge move back down for a bearish monthly candle. Short term, and we have a few areas in between. We have this area here, the 26.97 area. We have the 26.78-79 area, as well as the zones. Do keep an eye on the zones, and if you don't have the zones plotted out, make sure that you plot your zones out. But I would look for these two areas. If we break this second area, the 26, let's say 2680 to 2690, and we have sort of like something like this occur where we push up and then come back down and find support somewhere in that area and then start to create a bullish move, we can take buys up to the 27.21. Other than that, I mean, to start the week, we've just been bullish since the open of the week. So I mean, we did have a push down on Monday, and then Tuesday basically reversed Monday's candle. Wednesday market was closed. Thursday today we're having a nice bullish push up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Friday closes. I won't be taking any positions for the rest of the week. I'll be waiting until Monday because I'd like to see how this week closes to get an idea as to where we're going to head for the rest of the week. But I mean, those are my options as of now. Maybe finding a 4-hour and 1-hour candles rejecting up and through here, or up and through this area, anywhere around this area here. Need multiple, at least I'd say 4 to 8, 4 to 12 maybe 1-hour candles, and then 2, 3, 4 4-hour candles showing a nice rejection and reversal confirmation of a bearish move from there. Other than that, I don't really see anything interesting, but I'm looking forward to having these done on a weekly basis, at least one a week, maybe 2 a week, depending if there's news and stuff like that. But we're 100%, we will be having at least one a week on weekends to recap the previous week and what I think is going to happen for the week ahead. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm wishing you all a blessed, abundant, and amazing year ahead, and let's smash it. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Market Strip Down Sessions. So if you were on the last live session, you'll remember this analysis. Unfortunately, the last 2 live sessions, I wasn't able to record them because I am still getting some things set up in regards to the recording process and memory process, because the new live session format is on a different computer than the one that I usually record on and edit on. But anyways, if you're not part of the live sessions, it doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about it. So these were the three different options that I was looking at on Friday. Option number one was candles closing below this resistance, which we never did after, we never had after a live session. Actually, sorry, we had one, but repeated candles had to keep closing below to come down. The second option was candle closes above this resistance, one candle close above, the next one back below, and then we go down. And then the third one was we break this level, which was going to lead us to break this level. And I wasn't really looking for an area as to where it could peak to. I was just looking for a pull back down to this area and a close below this area, because if we go to the daily, I guess the daily, we have this level right here, this resistance level right here, which the high is actually 85.61. So it's just slightly above where I have the actual support line. 85.61. Yeah, so I mean, it is just above the level. You can see that we actually came down right now at market open, and retested this level. So you can see that there we had the market come down and we retested that level once again. But most important part is the daily did not close below it. So I mean, we have another level up here that we can look for, but I think it's a possibility that we get to. If we continue bullish, we will hit that level, and then obviously we will make it back up to the 27.23, 27.26 area. Now, if we see rejection up through here, I mean, there's basically two different options I'm looking at for the week ahead. Option number one, the Monday daily candle closes above this daily structure level here, which is going to lead us to go up into the anywhere from 20, so say 27.09 to 27, what's this high here, 27.26. So we have 27.09 to 27.26. Inversely, if the Monday daily candle closes back below this level, that'll open the bearish side back up, and we can go create a higher low, because we have a low, we have a high, we have equal slash lower high, we have a higher low. So I mean, we're either going to make an equal high or a break, or we might make a lower high around this area and then go down and make a higher low, maybe use this area as structure again. But those are really the only two options that I'm looking at for the week ahead. Things could change, and we could even have a very strong push up and break this level as well. But as of now, those are the two things I'm looking at. I'm looking for a close, daily candle close above this structure, which will lead us up to anywhere from 27.09 to 27.27, we'll call it. Or we have a daily candle close back below, which will open up the possibilities to first target 26.65 and then 26.34 area and then 26.04 area. So for me, those are the two different options going into the week ahead. Just keep an eye on the higher time frames to see how price is forming. I stay away from the 1 minute and 5 minute. 15 minute is usually the lowest I'll go. So let's see how the first few 4 hour candles form and close, and how the daily candle ends up closing. That'll give us our idea as to where we're going to be heading for the upcoming week and how to treat the market on the week ahead. I hope that gives you some insight and some clarity as to what I'm looking at for this coming week. We'll see you on the next session, and I'm wishing you an abundant and blessed week ahead. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao. Welcome to today's market strip down session. If we look at the weekly time frame, something very important to note is we closed above last week's wick. What does that mean? Well, it means that sells for now are a lot less likely. The monthly, we are very bullish. Extremely bullish, and the previous month we tried pushing further down but couldn't. Now, with that being said, if we look at the daily, we are trying to come back below this resistance here. We had a clear break above and a retest, but failed to close below. The new daily candle, as of right now, we are below this. We are below the resistance level that we have here, but as of right now, I don't believe that we will close below. On MetaTrader, we have a zone at 26.9166, which I will draw in now. We're also retesting we poked just past the 4-hour EMA and got rejected at it. But we have a zone at, so let me change this. We have one zone on MetaTrader at 91.66, 91.66. And then we have another one at 97.46. $97.46. So we have those two levels there. Which, to be honest, pre-market, I was doing a one-to-one session with someone, and I assumed that we would have a push down to at least one zone, which was down to here, but two zones was a better target for me. We are below all of the EMAs as well, the new double EMA setup on all the different time frames. With that being said, my analysis is as follows. We have a nice retest of this structure here and structure here, and I personally would really like for these two levels to be retested. We have one right here and one right there, which we did test on Friday but got rejected off of it. The new daily candle is retesting the support, but honestly, I think regardless, we have Trump's inauguration tomorrow, which will definitely move the market. Also, it's a Monday, so I tend to stay away unless there's something very, very, very good to trade, and even then, if I do, I usually use a lot less risk than normal. So I mean, listen, this is the overall analysis. Step one has already been achieved, which is the push down. I think from here, we're going to have at least a retest of this area and maybe a rejection down. If not, we could see a rejection off of this area. And inversely, we could see a break of these levels and a push up from there and a continued push up. Those are really the only two options that I really see. I'm not going to be taking any buys here. I will not be doing anything until the earliest Monday afternoon or Tuesday. And I would like for, obviously, it's not guaranteed that price will be up there by then, but I would like for this to play out the way that I'm assuming, that we'll use this structure between these two zones to continue bullish and use it as support. And then from there, we will see if the 27.21 or the 27.26 are respected and used as resistance. And then if those two are used as resistance, then we could potentially see a push down and even a bearish weekly candle, which if we do end up having a bearish weekly candle, let me look at the monthly. I mean, the monthly candle opened at 26.25 right on the dot. So let's see where that is here. 26.25. So we're looking at this level right here, which I mean isn't far-fetched. It's what, 1,000 pips from the top, about 700 from there, and about 1,000 from the top. So I mean, it's not far-fetched, but I think we get rejected here. We push up, use this area as resistance. From there, we either break through it, wait for a retest of structure, and between the 27.21, 27.26, once we find structure in that area, then we can continue bullish. If not, we come down. And I mean, if it doesn't even bounce from here and it goes bearish further before some sort of bullish move, I mean, we could see something like this happen inversely. Wait, breaks, retest of structure on the lower time frames, and then continue down. So I mean, I'm personally more biased to this because that was my analysis before the market opened, and it's playing out perfectly right now. So I would like to wait to see how this area is respected, if it pushes up and gets rejected, or if it breaks below it and uses it as resistance and then continues downward from there. So I mean, those are really the three different options: a push up, break, retest of structure, and continuation. Push up, rejection, push down, end up getting a weekly close. We could see a monthly candle reversal. As of right now, very unlikely, but nothing is impossible. So let's just see how the market reacts, especially with inauguration tomorrow. And let's take it day by day. But I hope you enjoyed this market strip down session, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao. Welcome to another episode of Market Strip Down Session. We can see last week's analysis played out perfect. One of the three options. We can see exactly from where we did the analysis, the market rejected from there. Just like I had assumed, That was the level that I told you that we were looking for a bounce off of. We got it. I mean, just off of there, 900 pips. With that being said, we were looking for one of the three options. We didn't get the cleanest break out of this high that we were looking for, which I believe was from the 4-hour time frame, if I'm not mistaken, but we got the one lower. We actually got even lower than that. We got from right here. Which, I mean, these are all levels that you should have marked up on your chart anyways. But we can see a nice break of this structure. A nice retest, used it as support, and took off. And very clean setup. I mean, once I saw this price action forming, I would have assumed that we were going to continue bullish and that it was buys from there until further notice, which is basically what happened, you know. So let's take a look at where we are from top down. Monthly, I'm not expecting even if we do get a rejection on the monthly, a huge one. We have a strong bullish candle on the monthly. We have a key level here that we're going to be watching for as we go down the time frames. Weekly, same thing again. Another key level that I'm going to be looking for is this right here. I'd like to see if the next weekly candle closes back below those two levels right there. I'd like to see if the new weekly candle closes below those two levels, which will open up the downside. Inversely, we could use those two levels as support, which we will see shortly. Again, looking a little bearish. No lower wick, or maybe a tiny one if we zoom in. Open no, based off of this candle, there is no lower wick at all, not even a micro pip. We did get a close above. We can see this structure here was holding for 2 days. We got a close above it, close above this previous wick over here from Wednesday. With that being said, I'd like to see how Monday moves. If Monday we get a close back below this wick, below this high from 2763.42, I would look for a continued push down at least to the 2724. So again, if Monday we get a close, daily candle close below the 2763.42, look for a push down to the 2724.48 level there, more or less somewhere, and doesn't have to be 48 exactly, but based off of these highs over here. Because we did get structure here, we used structure, rejected off of it, broke above it, and we haven't used it as support now. So even if we are going to continue bullish, that is an area that we could be looking for buys on a nice pullback. Inversely, if we continue up, I would like to see how price reacts there, and then potential sells down from there. Those are really the only two options that I'm paying attention to and that I'll be looking at this upcoming week. I don't really see any other plays. I mean, obviously we could have a break of this and then push back down and then a continued push up, but I don't think that that one is something that we should really be concerned at paying attention to. I would say out of the three of them, it's probably the least likely one. Yeah, I don't really see that being something of a concern. We have a nice double top forming here. Look for a rejection and probably a retrace back down eventually to the 2430 area, somewhere around there, because we broke this structure and never retested it. Even possibly eventually as far down as the 2000, as we do have to remember that the new president, Mr. Donald J. Trump is back in control. And with that being said, should be good for the US dollar and the US economy, which inversely means that gold will go down. So we could look for a long-term bearish move from here on gold. We could have a long-term bearish play from here come out. So let's take it day by day, week by week, month by month, and let's see how things unfold. Those are my 2 plays for the week ahead. I don't see anything other than that. I don't see anything else worth paying attention to. I hope it brings you some clarity, and let's have an amazing week ahead. Like always, take care, brush teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao.